I just thought of something.
Go.
Back to the episode where a woman would have to have a feather in her hat to learn.
How is she going to learn if she doesn't have a feather?
Exactly, that moment. When you just said it's another feather in your hat, it means something like you got another skill.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a little
So
ego
weirdly,
boost.
It is weird, but I got some hats with feathers on them.
you're a smart man.
I don't know about that.
I still need to bring you my. I still need to bring you my fedora to fix.
See, here's the thing. Here's how it's different. I put the feathers on my hat, and it feels like what you described is like when you learn another skill, putting a feather. That feels like getting another belt in like jujitsu or karate or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I just gave these to myself, so I don't think
You're like, I gave me my own belts.
right. That seems kind of cheating.
I taught myself.
if that's what those mean.
I did my own research.
Well, okay, here's the thing, though. You know, feathers in your cap, those are for wins. You're celebrating your wins.
That's what I was thinking.
Another feather in your cap, you're just putting your own wins.
Yeah,
You're,
I just thought they
you're
were pretty.
manifesting your own fucking destiny.
That was
I'm
it.
winning. I'm winning.
Yeah, they're peacock feathers too, of course.
Exactly.
It's called
I have to feed my ego.
manifesting.
Yeah, that's true.
That's pretty gay.
We don't have enough time to go down that
I call
road.
it the woo-woo.
We got an
It's
episode
very
to record.
woo-woo.
Yeah.
That's what my grandmother called it.
Do we have an episode to record?
We do.
I bet.
I think at least you told us we do.
That's why I'm here.
Unless this whole thing is just one giant ad lib, one big yes and.
Or it's a dream and I'm just taking a lot of naps.
It's. I mean, this is your
That's kind of
afterlife.
life.
Yeah,
Life
these are
is
high
just
thoughts.
a bunch of naps. Yeah.
A well-behaved woman is trim and proper. Chores always done, not a hair out of place. When the husband comes home, she greets him with a smile.
I'm sorry. What the fuck?
Are you tired of Hitler? Yes, I am. Okay, one liar as a kid can find another liar.
I want that stricken from the record.
How else is she gonna learn if she doesn't have a feather?
I can go fuck in the big house.
You're a mess, girl. I am here to audition for Babysitters Club extras. I brought my own hammer. Never not funny.
So professional.
Also, how much of a narcissist are you two quoting your own intro? Jesus.
Okay,
I had to listen to that thing
thought
50
this
fucking
was
times.
a safe space.
I'm just here to put you both in check. That's all.
Thank you.
Voice of reason.
Intro the fucking show.
No, I love it. It's great. I love it every time. It fucks,
If,
It fucks.
it fucks hard.
as the kids say.
I thought it was it slaps.
It slaps. Yeah.
Not anymore, babe.
Okay.
2023, we fucking.
Slapping wasn't hard
Well,
enough.
yeah. I got quiet.
Wah, wah, wah.
What do you got for us?
Well,
How about an intro?
Yeah,
How about
probably.
Yeah,
that?
that's what we were talking
Welcome back to another episode of Well-Behaved Women. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to Well-Behaved Women. My name is B. As ever, I am joined by our resident historian, archaeologist, anthropologist, the lovely Miss Lauren.
What's up?
And back from the grave, Zombie Hannah Moses. She's back, y'all.
Oh,
Dead
what a
and brought back
ride.
to life.
What a ride.
I know. Thank you. Hi, I wore my zombie shirt from Italy.
Back from Italy.
Yes, back from my parents' house.
Buongiorno.
By now it'd be buonasera.
Buonasera.
Actually, wait, what time is it? Never mind, it's buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Buongiorno.
We're good. Thank
How was
you.
Italy?
It was amazing. It was gorgeous.
Tell us about it.
Well, it takes like a 16-hour travel day to get there from Denver.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Balls.
Yeah. But I overpacked my bag with another suitcase inside of it.
It's literally every woman I've ever met.
Really?
Overpacking.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'll pack 17 pairs of underwear for a 4-day trip.
Yeah, I got ambitious.
What are you doing in those underwear?
I
What?
don't want to talk about what I get up to on vacation, okay? That's not the question here. We're talking about
It's like
her
4 a day
vacation to
long.
Italy.
Yes, my vacation.
Right, I was exaggerating.
This was with my parents, so nothing super fun. I'm just kidding.
Aw.
No, it was awesome. I
Is
got
it just
to,
you and your folks?
Yeah, because I was just visiting them, but like I got to know, like they live in a small little town.
Oh, shit. I forgot they lived there.
Yeah, full time now.
Balls.
Which is crazy.
I know. I
It's
know.
insane.
It's still very.
Are they fully retired?
Mostly. My mom, yes. My dad doesn't want to be retired. He was talking to me about trying to go and figure out how to work again.
I mean, that's
essentially.
most men. My grandpa retired and then got like a part-time job working with
Yeah, my grandpa, actually, now that I think about it, he did that too. And my other grandpa.
My dad just retired, and now he works at
Yeah.
He advocates for like kids in the foster system at court because he's familiar with the thing. He just
That's
wants.
cool.
He loves it.
That's
He's-
productive.
It's productive. He
Back to the community.
he knows a lot of the people that are already in that community, and he's familiar with the type of system that they have to go through, and so like he's not scared of the court system the way the kids
Yeah.
are.
The way
Plus,
I
it's
am.
like a part-time thing, so basically they can go on as many vacations as they want to, and he
Right.
just has to make sure that everyone's
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, my dad, I think, is just like, he just is not used to waking up and not having something to do, or somewhere to be. And
Yeah, I think that's most working class men. They don't know what to do with themselves.
Should we
for
do
the
a fucking
third
pop-up?
time. What's the campfire story, Lauren?
Hit me.
ADHD kids, when they get together, it's impossible.
I am
to get started.
unmedicated.
It is. I mean, doesn't it say like comedy podcast? I mean, isn't it?
True.
It is. That's the whole point. Yeah.
Love it.
All right. Well, welcome to our fucking show. And as always, we're going to start with an.
In the film history,
Can you do a this decade?
in this decade in history.
I love it so much every time.
It should be a ringtone.
A text tone.
You have to do it like you're getting. You have mail. You got mail.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. You've got mail.
Yes.
Incoming phone call.
Telephone.
Hey, bitch, you got a text. That's 2010, I think. Nah, maybe get 2016.
It feels old.
It does.
All right. So on this decade in history, Polynesians settle in Fiji. Rice is introduced in Indonesia.
I love that.
Cecrops, the king of Athens, dies after a 50-year reign and is succeeded by his son Cranaeus.
Not sea crops.
Not
Cecrops.
Is this like the year 431 BCE?
Do you have a guess?
No.
Because that was just like ancient Greek stuff.
I am not smart enough for whatever is happening
Yeah.
right now. Do we get any more information?
No.
I know it was a lot. But
Those were the three.
Woof.
Yeah. That's why I went for a crazy wild guess, because I don't think it matters.
No, that would give it away.
Well, you're no fun at all.
No, I'm not.
I'm pooping all over this party.
I'm here to laugh and tell a story. I'm not here to be funny. That's your job.
Wait. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Tell me the information one more time.
Polynesians settle in Fiji. Rice is introduced in Indonesia. Cecrops, the king of Athens, dies after a 50-year reign and is succeeded by his son Cranaeus.
Yeah, all that Greek shit makes it sound like Jesus times, but I'm gonna guess it's the 1600s.
Well before Jesus times.
I feel so. There's
1600s.
there's so many people that are gonna be listening to this, being like, "You're a fucking idiot."
Okay, you think it's the 1600s?
I don't know what it is,
All right.
but that's my guess.
And yours is 431 BC?
Yeah, really out there.
All right. I don't even know how to Price is Right this bitch
no,
for
just
this
fucking
one.
kill me.
No,
already. Tell me
you
what it
both
is.
fucking lost.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
It's whoever's
Sure.
closest without going over. So it's either really early times
yeah.
or really semi-recent.
Just tell us how stupid we are.
We
Yes.
are in 1507.
Okay, I wasn't that far.
BCE.
Oh, never mind.
Well, I went over. So we both went over. We're both losers.
Oh, no.
So I was closer, though.
I would just like to remind everybody that I started by saying how stupid I was. If we could just clip it, it's there.
No, I want to keep this
said-
in.
Oh, I loved it.
This was amazing. All right.
All
I
right.
like this.
You know, I'm really glad that I didn't say out loud before how good I was doing on this year in history while Hannah was gone, because I just ate a big shit. That was bad.
You were like 1,000 years off.
Whoa.
No, wait, hold on. 3,000 years off.
Yeah, I was
just-
1,000 off.
Wow.
Ish.
Yeah.
That was rough for me. you
Yeah.
guys.
This only.
was humbled.
I love how topical this is. Thank you, because I did visit Nero's palace.
Well, fuck. I feel like you had a head start then.
Maybe. I don't know if this
Cheater.
is the story.
Let's Seti the scene here, shall we?
I take it that's her name.
The joke is just gonna make sense in a minute.
Okay. Thank you. I'll hold my laughs.
We're in the 18th dynasty of Egypt in a period that's called the New Kingdom.
Dope.
Ah,
Seti,
I see.
King Seti.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know all my Egyptian
That's okay.
pharaohs.
No, I get it.
The historians that listen to this, whole two of them, they'll
They're gonna
think that's
love it.
hilarious. Okay.
And if you could tell your friends about it.
Please comment to talk about how stupid we are. We would love any comments whatsoever. I'll take all feedback.
Historians and non-historians alike, we want everyone
Yes.
to listen.
Make your voice heard.
So we've come to the 18th dynasty in a position of high power. The pharaoh, a guy named Thutmose the First.
Oh my god!
It's either Thutmose or Tutmose, and I'm
Titmouse.
It is most definitely not titmouse.
You ever seen a titmouse?
A bird? Yes.
Have you ever seen a bush tit?
No.
Your parents are bird watchers, though.
Yeah,
So
so a
yeah,
titmouse
you know.
is a bird.
Yes. We went
Tufted
on
titmouse is a
a
bird.
walk through Garden of the Gods, and she was
Very
like
specific
just
joke.
pointing out all very specific birds, and I'm like,
I was trying to make my bird watching past make some sort of productive.
it worked.
sense.
It was very impressive.
Yeah.
Thank
got it.
you.
All right, so the pharaoh Thutmose the First is pretty much only pharaoh because he marries the sister of the former pharaoh Amenhotep the First.
Mm-hmm.
There's some speculation as to whether Amenhotep was also Thutmose's father.
Right, of course.
Yeah, but since it's questionable, Thutmose had to make sure he definitely had the family line to carry on. So, like, he takes these steps to ensure that.
The great steps.
Yeah.
I think I know who this is, but I'm
This-
not hold.
This dynasty marks a huge reign over the land and exploration as far as Mesopotamia and Assyria. Thutmose First, in particular, was all about the exploration. He couldn't sit still.
That'd be me.
Yeah. He marries a woman named Queen Ahmose and has a couple daughters with her, Hatshepsut and Neferubiti. He also has his consort, as is tradition, and with Mutnofret, which is the consort, he has Thutmose II, Amenmose, and Watchmose. There are different accounts of this. I'm not going to get into the fact that it could have been
Allegedly.
any combination
Yeah.
of those
Speculation.
mothers to those kids. Don't come at me, okay?
Yeah.
Just
This is just
let me tell a fucking story.
This is just what I was told
Yeah,
This
there-
is-
by
it could-
historians.
this is like
This is 2 or 3 sources out of like a bunch of them.
and
So
from 3,000 years ago
If
in
you
a
got a
language that we
problem,
do not.
take it up
No.
with fucking
Blue
Queen
Cafe.
Ahmose and
Titmouse.
Hit
Mutnofret.
us in the email, and then maybe we'll argue via email.
let's do it.
wellbehavedwomenpodcast@gmail.com. I dare you.
He's been plugging it and I fucking love it.
Okay, keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Until we get an email. I'll do
Yes, we need an email. He's going to keep challenging each and every one of you until you
it.
email
When I'm
him.
feeling spicy, yeah. why not?
Okay.
So in 1507, when Hatshepsut is born, Thutmose I is still about a year out from gaining the title of pharaoh. He's still waiting for the old king to die.
Kind of like Prince Charles was
Basically,
waiting.
yes. She is fully of royal
Oh, sorry,
blood.
King Charles III. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
Just making sure.
Fuck them. Who don't?
Making sure. Just making
I'm
sure.
trying to make enemies today. Never mind.
All right.
Huck the royals. Yeah, fuck it.
Fucking Brits.
That was good. What?
Nothing. I'm trying to
Okay.
find my spot.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of Cockney.
In it,
Like Michael Caine.
I've got to take a class to
In
be,
it.
like,
In it.
to be able to contribute accents. I
I've been
can't
watching.
do it. All I
I've been
can do is
watching
Valley
Ted
Girl.
Lasso lately, and it is a wonderful show. But it's also set in England, and so there's a bunch of different accents, and I just like
Oh,
quote them in my brain, like to practice.
That's
Bake Off
funny.
is a great way to get the UK.
I think I'm gonna watch Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders is great too.
I think that's like
That's more
my
Irish,
next
isn't
show.
it? In it,
the Blinders are Irish.
yeah.
Still, or Dairy Girls if we're going off on the Irish accents.
Mm,
The Blinders are like they're like Irish gypsies living in England.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it.
It's amazing.
All right, so Hatshepsut's born. It's 1507. She's fully of royal blood, depending on who you're asking me. Pretty much, she's recognized
Yeah,
as she's a little princess.
damn right.
Thutmose I had enough royal connection, and Ahmose was fully like she was also his sister and also a full royal. So basically her bloodline specifically was just set. There was nothing to worry about. When she's a year old, Papa Tutmos gets the throne, and he becomes pharaoh. And like I said, he's an explorer, so pretty much all through the childhood of these kids that he's having, he's off on these military campaigns.
So they don't know him very well.
They don't know him very well. We're going to talk about him because context is key. Dan Carlin makes those long-ass hardcore history episodes for a reason.
Yeah,
and it's because he goes off on 17 tangents that are like,
hardcore history.
here's why this is important. Now, what we didn't realize was...
Yes. They're like, I look at the runtime for them, and they're like 4 or 5 hours.
I know.
It would not be fine.
All right, so here's a map. We're looking.
Map.
All right, so we've got the Egyptian Empire.
Kush, nice.
Right, so... If we're pointing down here, it says Kush, and we're looking at the southern part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That is Upper Egypt.
Right.
Up here by these little deltas and stuff, we're looking at Lower Egypt.
So for context here, the Nile is running. The Nile is running from south to north.
Yes,
One of the only rivers that does that, right?
Yes, and
Well, look at you with your fun fact.
yeah.
I love fun facts.
Well, and that actually kind of comes to importance because Tutmos I comes all the way up here through Canaan, and he has got his like military campaigns that he's working on. This is going to come in. No, you know what? Fuck it. I'll get there. Anyway, so we're in upper and lower Egypt, and even trying to say that with little motions, I'm
pretty
still
much
getting
just
it
along the
wrong.
Nile is probably the most easiest way to kind of describe. But yes, it is. It is very cush, very green, right?
Like right on the river.
Yeah,
it
right
is,
on the
but
river.
It's in the middle of fucking desert.
Yeah, I have
What
to.
is
I'm
now
see now.
desert?
That was the extent of my knowledge was that the Nile runs from south to north because I'm bad at
That's good,
geography.
though. I mean, that's important.
What is now desert?
What is now desert?
And
At the
this
time, it
was-
wasn't always that
This
way.
was 3,000, almost 4,000 years
Yeah,
ago.
it's probably
there
a
was
lot more
most
lush than.
definitely a desert nearby,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
nearby, but now the whole fucking thing is desert.
mostly.
So Thebes is the cap. It's kind of right in the middle here. If you look,
Okay.
Thebes is the capital
Mm-hmm.
of Upper Egypt. So that's kind of the southern half.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the capital is. The path down to Nubia. Nubia is that little area where we saw Kush.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're, that's a little territory area. It's under Egyptian rule at that point, and when Tutmos was crowned, the Nubians rebelled, which was not a problem because Tutmos was like, I'm a brutal soldier and I'm a fucking commander, so he went and took a bunch of his soldiers and he went up the Nile.
Yeah. So going south.
He went south up the Nile, and he actually joined in the battle, and he personally killed the Nubian king.
Off with his head.
Wow.
He didn't lose his head, but he was brutally fucking beaten and killed, and then he took the body of the king, he hung it from the bow of his ship, and then they rode back down the Nile.
It's war, baby.
Times
It's
were
war.
very brutal.
The next year, he led a campaign. Again, he led a campaign into the eastern stretches of the empire, so he pulls all the way through the peninsula, and gets into the mainland of Eurasia. He meets these princes of Syria who...
Eurasia.
My God.
I couldn't help it.
I know. It's okay.
Out there, you're Canadian.
It's that
in
Y
here,
chromosome.
European.
It's that Y chromosome.
I know.
There's also a car driver.
There's
by,
like
so
a
I felt
humor
I could fill the
gene.
space.
It's a very specific type of humor.
You know what we really
but
couldn't
also
hear
my
last time?
family is just what?
You know what we really couldn't hear last time?
Cars. Yeah, it's nice. Huh? That's what happens when you talk right into the microphone. Oh,
We whisper.
there it is.
It's the ASMR.
Uh-huh. Well, that's
Somebody's gonna like stop. Like some people really hate that. Somebody's gonna go, that's it.
That's it. I'm
it's
done.
the
I think that should be under the Patreon and it should
I don't
say
think the
like
whispers bother people.
mouth noise
Yeah.
alert.
Trigger alert.
Yeah,
Is it-
trigger. Thank
is
you.
it triggering?
It is actually my ex. It's like he would have me leave the room.
For real?
Yeah, he was. He had other issues, but that was one of them.
I
My mom
apologize
is
to
also
all of
one of
my
those.
listeners. I was not aware it was such a triggering thing.
Yeah, you insensitive bitch.
Crazy.
It's okay. Most people don't know about it, but if they have it, they'll make sure you know.
Oh my god,
Damn.
that's true.
And it's like apparently, I have a lot of mouth noises. I apparently make a lot of noise.
You do the
No, not like that.
you do the before you start talking.
I do.
I have to cut that out a lot.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. Now that you can hear it, you'll figure it out.
Just
I'll
basic
try.
bitch things. It's fine.
So they rode down the Nile with the king's body. He wasn't satisfied with that rule, so he led a campaign up into...
My bloodlust has not been quenched.
Oh God.
Not even bloodlust. It's like...
Sounds like it.
Well, it's like... It's more
I ain't
like...
done killing yet.
I want to do lots of exploration. I want to take over all these lands, and whoever gets in my way, they're just
murdering.
collateral damage.
Yeah, that's right.
Like
There it is.
it's almost
We
like
got
it's a byproduct of one of the actual goal, which is to take over.
Entitlement.
Yeah, duh.
He's a pharaoh.
Yes,
He thinks
we're
everything belongs to
We're
him.
in one of the largest reigns, geographical rules of Egypt at the time.
Oh yeah.
Or we're getting into it. Like, this is the golden age of Egyptian
His
rule.
family has old money. Entitlement.
Whoa, that was a voice.
Literally,
Yeah.
yes.
I know
literally
how to do a pretentious white lady.
That was really something.
Thank you.
Is Zombie Hannah a pretentious bitch?
No, I just have been around many, and actually somebody has called me pretentious before, so maybe my voice is...
What was that?
It's... I need to clear my throat. Let me clear my throat.
There it is. I'm glad I, as the DJ, didn't have to make that reference.
No.
That makes my heart happy.
I'm glad.
So Thutmose goes over into Eurasia. He meets these princes of Syria, and they all pledge fealty to his rule. Now, sources differ on whether or not this actually happened, but it might have been because Thutmose had actually crossed the Euphrates River. There's no evidence to support this, and it was a different type of river than they were used to, mainly because it
Flow the
ran
other direction?
north to south. Yeah, and they basically called it the Upside Down River.
Ha
Makes sense to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he comes back to the Delta. He's excited. He's hunting elephants. He's bragging about shit. And meanwhile, these Syrian princes that have, pledged loyalty to him.
The
they're
kings who knelt.
All right, do you guys want to put up some fortifications in case that nutsack come back?
Yeah, can we just reinforce a few things?
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm sure that is, they probably said
Word
tit-sack.
for word, nutsack comes back. That's exactly
Sorry,
what it was.
tut-sack.
Tutsack!
There it is.
Bravo.
Thank you.
I'm going to put you in the penitentiary.
Oh, no.
Even better.
In solitary? So, a few years later, he felt like invading Nubia again, so he sent a bunch of servants to go and destroy a canal. So, I'll show you the map again.
I'm sorry.
Along these, if you look right...
I'll destroy the canal. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna undo what Moses did. I'm gonna close that back up.
That sounds more sexual than what I said.
Oh, I didn't even think that was. I was thinking geographically. Just gonna put some dirt. Should I stop talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh God. I'm glad at least you laughed.
Wow. I missed that.
Those were endorphins. That's endorphins. That's dopamine I just gave you.
We missed
And
you.
everyone listening.
We missed you. All right, so if you look here along the river, there's these little ticks. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mm-hmm. These are all little canals that have been built up over time to basically control the flow from the south to the north, so that basically you can kind of use this a little more. They control.
More trafficable.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It makes it easier to walk around and travel. Walk
Okay.
around. You don't walk in a river.
You're walking on water? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Someone at the bar the other day did call me Jesus.
Why?
He called my friend Buddha and he called me Jesus. And I was like, okay.
Why was he calling
I got
you guys
nothing.
names?
I have zero reason.
Drunk people.
Oh, bar. Duh.
Bar.
Ugh, I haven't had it.
Drunk
Yeah,
logic.
he was
Time.
super drunk.
Who knows?
Oh, well.
So he has them destroy these canals so that he can get upriver more easily. Yes, it kind of fucks up the flow of the water here,
Yeah.
but it also allows me to go up there and destroy people when I need to.
Do whatever I want.
So
It's my river.
Yeah, exactly. I am a god on earth.
I'm the king.
Yep.
The river belongs to me.
Yeah.
I keep making that. Yeah.
So they get these taken down, and he took people back upriver, and he attacked Nubia again. And at the end, he wrote an inscription at a place called Tombos, which basically is like, I'm putting my flag here, and you can never take it down because it's literally carved in stone. It's this big-ass thing. It's in the ground. It won't fade, even, literally through the sands of time.
Can confirm, by the way, fun Italian story, if I may.
Italian corner.
Yeah,
Go
Italian corner.
You may.
Buongiorno, everyone. But
Can that be the intro to Italian corner every time? Is
That lying bitch
Buongiorno,
told me she
everyone.
didn't know Italian.
you said it earlier. I learned. I'm in America. I have a feather somewhere. Anyway,
Italian feather.
yeah. So there's a restaurant that my mom took me to in Rome where she said it basically was the world's first like landfill. And apparently
depressing.
Well, so like back in the day, you know, they didn't have ways to preserve oil for as long as we do now, like in these special bottles. It was just in these little casks of ceramic. So like they would go rancid and they'd have to get rid of it. And they didn't, you know, had to figure out what are they going to do with all this oil? They can't put it in the ground because it's going to ruin stuff. So they ended up packing it into these little like rectangles. Like after it goes rancid, they like dry it as best they can, like try to do whatever they can, pack it with dirt and stuff, and then they would place it and they'd, you know, like ship it off. And it would all go to this one spot. And this one spot, it was a big mountain of it. And then they just kind of like, all right, we don't want to look at it anymore. I forget what happened, but they like covered it up. So this restaurant is built into this hill. They found a wall of it. And so they have windows. I have a picture I can show you of, like, you can see this, like, basically fossilized trash.
So their windows are literally a
Up
peek
against-
into the landfill of ancient Rome.
I will post this on our website
This
under
is
the
fucking
Italian
incredible.
corner.
I cannot wait
I
to
have
see
to make
this.
an
I find
Italian
that kind of
corner.
shit fascinating.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I hope it never breaks.
Yeah, no, they're preserving it. The Italians
really cool.
are very big on preservation of their history, which I love because
It's
then we
because
get to
so
see
much
this.
of their art got destroyed through World War II.
Well,
Yeah,
sure. And
I
they're-
saw some towns that were bombed.
One of my dream is to move to Italy and move from town to town, like literally
Renting,
go from town to town, renting whatever, but like documenting and photographing and like basically getting information on all of the local art that like local people know about, but it's not written anywhere and people just know about it in their
I
towns.
have something for you then.
Oh.
Because the town that my parents live in is still in, unfortunately. Yes, B, I'm sorry. I didn't want to talk over you.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. Continue.
Oh, you're I thought you were signaling with you're just having a good time. Okay, good. But in the town that my parents live in, it's about like an hour northish of Naples and like about an hour and a half-ish south or west or southwest of Rome. I'm still bad at geography, but it's called Arpino. And it's where Cicero was from. And then they also have Mastriani was
It's not my Pinot. It's our Pinot.
it's our Pinot, yes. Actually, the Italian word for penis is penne. Or not penne,
I meant
because
wine.
penne is the pasta, but penne is penis.
I meant wine.
Oh,
Pinot.
huh.
I don't know if it's spelled the same or not, but that's what it
I'm
sounded
sorry. I gotta stop you right there. How you say you don't know Italian but you know
What
the
did
word
I
for
say?
guess
penis?
I
What did
learned more
say?
than I
What did
thought.
I say? This is what I said.
She's a fucking liar.
Thank you.
No, there's a
No,
statue.
zombie Hannah lies.
No, there was
You
a
lie and you lie.
You know what it is when you start to learn a language, you learn the bad words first. That's what it is.
but that's
Penis is a bad word.
not,
I mean,
it's not a bad
in
word.
Spanish, it's pitu.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not a bad word. It's a body part.
Or sometimes they call it a straw, like a popote.
All right, that's funny. That's funny. That implies that they can suck through it.
Well, that I
You're
wasn't
sucking
gonna-
something.
That's a new skill I've never heard of.
Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't have to say it. I just want to make that clear that it didn't come out of my mouth this time.
Why do they call it a blowjob if you're not blowing anything?
Well, please don't. It's weird.
These
I've
are
had
the
it happen.
questions. These are the questions.
Don't blow on it. That's weird.
Don't. Very strange.
Well, I forget where I was going with this. Oh, from our Pinot. There.
We made it.
Anyway, now I feel like I have to
cannot.
close the Italian corner. So to end that, I'm going to go buonasera.
We can't full circle. I was ready.
No, this is my corner.
All right, what?
I do the intros here.
I can't tell you what to do with your corner. I understand.
Anyway, we're Egypt. He's going the wrong way.
This is
We're doing more conquering.
such a mess.
Because you forgot how to function with an ADHD.
What do you mean? No, with 3 people, there's 3 times the tangents.
Oh,
You know
I
what
love
mean?
it,
That's
yes.
all. That's all.
No, I have
That's
zero
true.
problem with it. This is great. All right. He's got his name carved in stone down in Nubia.
Okay.
As I heard in the amazingly educational History of Egypt podcast by a guy named Dominic Perry, everything seemed to be coming up Tutmos.
Oh, I love it.
Coming up, Titmouse.
It's coming up Titsack.
I'm coming out.
Tutsack.
Tutsack.
Cover your eyes. I am Titsack, guys.
They wear crotchless aprons so their balls can be swinging. While
Did they
dance.
really?
No.
Oh.
If they're,
Ben-
I'm
Ben-
just supposed to be also a history podcast, so it has to be somewhat true.
I got an immediate image in my brain. I'm sorry. I need to include you in that. So you sang that. And I'm thinking.
If you're gonna say it into the mic.
Oh, God.
Oh, there's the.
We're going to have to edit down some of the tangents, but this one has to make it. Take out all the Italian corner.
The suspense is killing me.
You've got these dancers coming out.
You got to get the key
and they're,
mic.
like,
The
swinging.
mic's got to be right here.
Tell it to us.
Yeah.
You've got these dancers coming out. They're swinging their hips, but since they're all men, you get crotchless aprons, so their little balls are swinging.
Yeah.
They're doing it in rhythm.
Their tit sacks are.
What's the name of the desk thing? That, you know what I mean? The balls swing back and forth and clack against each other.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
The
I'm
clackers?
coming
Well,
out.
I
You
don't
know.
think that's
That's what I called them.
sure.
They're pendulums.
Too much information, but clackers are what I call my balls.
Okay. But literally, yes. So you got crotchless aprons so that your clackers can start. They can kind of hit your thighs as you're doing your little hip swings.
That's clacking.
Yeah.
You got it.
And they
Yep.
come out and they're
Smacking
dancing
the
in
thighs.
rhythm.
Yeah,
so they
if
got,
it's
"I'm
dewy
coming
enough,
out."
they will make enough noise.
They're like castanets almost.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Exactly.
They go in rhythm.
Golf
They
clap.
sure do.
They should. If
Yeah,
not,
that's
it's
what
totally
I'm imagining.
fine. But
Sorry, I only included you in the very last bit of that,
Oh,
so I
okay.
needed to walk you
We
through.
know what Lauren will be dreaming about later.
I think we all will.
Hopefully not me.
It paints a
I just
picture.
know I'm thinking
sure
just
does.
some very showgirl shit. So funny.
Bunch of Nubian guys in aprons swinging nuts.
I feel bad that we just
Yep.
said Nubian, but yes, we are in Egypt.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the place they're from, right? Or one of the places that was mentioned at least.
It
Yeah,
was-
Nubia
it-
is
Nubia.
Nubia is like taken over by Egypt at this
There you
Is
point.
it
go.
Nubia or
The area of Nubia, so like Nubian
Okay.
tribes and stuff, that
Okay.
territory.
all right? I want to make
was
sure I
overtaken
got
by
the right
Egypt.
name.
So everything's coming up Titmouse, and he's
Titsack.
Titsack. He's destroying cities, he's winning land, and all these things are really getting good.
It's conquering.
Yeah, he's having a bunch of kids, but as kids fucking do, they fucking die.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, back then.
Yeah, they sure did die.
Yeah.
back
I think
then.
one of them died like in youth, and then one of them,
Aw.
a couple of them were soldiers, but one of the soldiers died. And I'm not really, I don't remember this part of it very clearly, but basically, since Egyptian rule is passed down by male leadership, that left Tutmos II.
This is like the ancient Egyptian equivalent of when famous like NFL players have sons that play but aren't as good, like with the sons that die in battle.
You
You're
have
like,
no
God damn it!
You have no idea how right you're about to be.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
here we
The
go.
first year was like we're watching.
Uh huh.
Are you gonna make it?
I'm ready to be right. Hit me with it.
So he was basically a half royal because his mom was the lesser wife.
Yeah.
And
Concubine.
yeah, so
Yes.
they needed to do something clever to make his position secure. And toward the end of Tutmos I's reign, Tutmos II and Hatshepsut married. and she likely would have been about 14 to 15, and he
Gross.
might have been older, but I don't know.
That was practice.
No, I know. It's just gross.
I know. But she's been around. She's survived many birthdays.
Right. So Tutmos I has a good reign, and when he dies, he's got one of, if not the first, tomb in the Valley of Kings. Previous to this, all of his ancestors and the old leaders and all this shit, they were the ones that were building the pyramids. They had those big
Remember me.
Yes, incredibly narcissistic monuments to their own lives.
Remember me from
Exactly.
Futurama.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes. Okay. Making sure.
Remember me.
And then fire.
Shut up, baby. I know it.
Love it. All right. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Egypt.
So he had, instead of wanting his tomb to be on display, he wanted it to be private. He wanted to be in a pretty area where his body could be left. So Valley of the Kings is a very, very secluded place, and they dig into the ground and they work on his little tomb, and he's buried in there.
Lovely. He wanted to retire in peace.
Yes. It's a very weird kind of marker for people to do monuments and stuff, but basically he didn't want anyone to find him. He wanted privacy in his afterlife. So Hatshepsut and Thutmose get married, and Thutmose II rules for a time. While he had also been a soldier in these wars of his father's, he didn't actually get his hands dirty. So he's very much seen in the
How
background.
diplomatic.
Yeah.
How old was he again?
Probably around 20.
When he
but-
married Hapshepsut?
Yes, I don't know who was older. I don't know who was younger. It could have been anywhere between, they were both 14 to 15 to they were 26.
I see. Yeah, they're basically children. But yes, okay. I had something else, and I was like,
Yes.
I feel like there was something about a baby. And
We'll
that
get there.
Yeah, okay.
We'll get there.
Oh, shit, I
You're
know
rushing
something.
There's
things.
always a baby.
You're rushing things.
I'm sorry.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. ASMR apologies. Oh my god. Wait, can we have a Patreon section for ASMR apologies? Where you send in your anonymous apologies for something you've done, and I will say it on the podcast anonymously in ASMR voice.
That actually sounds really fun.
Also, everybody thinks that whispering is like a sexy voice thing, but it's actually really bad for your vocal cords to whisper.
Very aware, yeah. So can we talk in a normal voice now?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get
no, we
talking back
will.
to normal.
Yeah.
All right, because it
Save it for the bedroom.
started sounding weird. Yeah. I mean, there is a bed here, but
That's okay. I'm not. Never mind.
Feels like a let's gloss moment. Let's gloss over that.
let's gloss over it.
Onward.
Onward.
All right.
Perfect.
Thutmose II is basically seen very much as a background character, even in his own life. Like, literally, the notable thing he did was have a couple of kids. He had a daughter named Neferure, and with Hatshepsut, so she was a fully royal queen.
Ah.
All you ever did is make a hot daughter. That is it. That is it, Chip.
And then with his lower wife, Iset,
Lower wife.
yeah, his concubine,
Aha.
he had a son named Thutmose III.
A
Oh.
consort.
Surprise.
Yeah, they're very creative with their naming,
Side piece.
but like an official side piece, like
Like we
Like
have documents. that
yeah, we
this
have
thing is
documents,
ours.
and yeah,
Yeah.
We went in on a kid.
They fucking stamped her head. I was gonna say they could probably tattoo some sort of symbol to
Yeah,
signify.
branding. You mean?
I mean that was common then as well, but yeah,
Yeah.
tattoos are far less inhumane.
True.
So Hatshepsut, as she is kind of a young woman and getting married and having kids and stuff, she is figuratively married also to the god Amun. So she's the wife of a god, making her
True.
also additionally
A
like
deity.
religiously important. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she was a deity, but
Oh no.
but it was like this is my
deity.
earth partner or whatever.
I have a god side piece.
to God.
Thutmose II ruled anywhere between 3 to 4 years to 14 to 15 years.
Whoa.
Like I said, it's fucking nebulous.
That's a big jump.
That's translation issues.
He hadn't been one to get trained for kingship, so he really didn't know what he was doing.
We're winging it.
Yeah.
He was a younger kid than the other two. He was
Not
just
supposed
kind
to
of
be here.
he was Dante. He wasn't even supposed to be here. It was supposed to be one of his other two brothers, the ones that had been training, the ones that were supposed to get the crown, and they were both dead, and he was it. He
That's
was
what
left.
happens when you fight in the war.
I feel
When you send your children off to war,
And of course,
your heirs
because
die.
yeah, and of course because it's kings, you can't just have the daughter can rule. So all right,
These are
let's
literally
marry
the
her.
whole. These are like the base stories of Game of Thrones. All of this.
Actually, yes. For some of it can be.
Do you remember
lot of
another
it.
maybe episode that we went over where we were talking very Game of Thrones?
Ching-Chi?
Butt fucking in the big house.
But fucking in the big house,
Yeah.
Zishi?
Yeah, is it she?
Zishi. Oh, why do
Yeah.
I keep saying Ching-Chi?
Because that's another episode that I've done.
Shang-Chi is the fucking Marvel thing. Maybe that's
know.
what you're doing.
No, it's because when I watch Puppet History on YouTube, and they have an episode on someone called Ching-Chi, or at least that's how they pronounce the name. So,
All right.
oh, bitch, you got it.
Meanwhile,
During Tutmos II's rule,
1520 something BCE.
1480s,
Okay.
1490s and 1480s.
time goes the opposite when you're BC.
Yep.
Well, okay.
So
I know
during
that, but
during this time, he had a couple construction projects and a couple policy changes, but it wasn't really anything to write home about. It's not like they're, creating huge, big monuments to the things that he's done. In fact, he's basically known because he's the dad of Tutmos III. That's it.
all right.
And the fact that he died when he was 30 in the middle of one of the only confirmed Tutmos II constructions.
I mean, that's pretty much when people died then.
Yeah, but he
didn't
didn't
live much longer than 30.
he didn't even see his projects to the end. Most people could at least see, the end of their
Let me tell you about not seeing your projects to the end. I got a
Yeah.
lot of experience in this field.
So Hatshepsut is suddenly a widow in charge of a nation, but she's not because that's got to be a king, right? So when Tutmos II died, suddenly Tutmos III is up. He's 2 years old. He is the stepson of Hatshepsut, who's going to take care of him. And what does that make Hatshepsut?
Baby Pharaoh.
She makes her another queen regent.
Oh,
That's
Queen
right.
Mother! Queen Mother!
That's right, ladies and
She will
gentlemen.
be in charge until the babe is of age.
We got another queen regent on our
We
hands.
love it.
Yes.
Queen by default.
Queen by default.
Now,
yep.
how do we keep him from aging?
Get him.
That is one way.
Drown the baby. Send him down the river.
It's 1479 BC, and now Hatshepsut is in charge of Tutmos III, who has his name start showing up on buildings at this point.
You will know who he is because I am Queen Regent of him.
The reason
We dedicate this prison to the new baby king. May he
And
live
his
long.
stepmom.
And his mother.
So the reason I say showing up on buildings or constructions or that kind of stuff is because we know what we do about ancient Egypt, and it's entirely contextual according to who's in rulership at that time.
Yeah, history's written by the victors,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
Well, no, not even that. The stories are dependent on the date. It's like what buildings and pyramids went up when, which king ruled when. That's how it's dated. So it's like it's the third year of this dynasty of this leadership of blah 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 blah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. So so if one leader ruled 24 years longer than we think that they ruled, all that dating is fucking off.
Yeah, so if you're trying to figure out what year it is in terms of the, annuals, then you have to figure out everything about the dynasty, which means when it started.
Yeah, you
Right.
might
And
have
when
some
this king
gaps
came
and
into power.
overlaps.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm going to give you a lot of date ranges because there's pretty much no definitive stuff.
Right.
Or it could be any number of, in any range of 15 to 20 years.
Okay.
Historians' opinions differ on when the dynasties started and ended.
I love you. Thank you for
Thank
that.
You. Thank you.
That was
Our resident
wonderful.
historian,
Resident goofbag.
Goofsack.
I'm the historian, but he's the voice.
Got sacks on the brain.
Yeah, it just made me laugh.
Tut sacks, man. Tut sacks.
I'm never, mm-hmm.
You're never going to live that down.
No, I hope that part, I actually clip that out and just get rid of it.
Flip it.
Delete it.
The whole thing?
No.
It's staying in.
She's recorded as acting only as the regent for the young pharaoh for some time. They'd worked together, and she was likely the power behind the decisions because, he's fucking 2, 3, 4 years old.
Yeah.
But it was Tutmos III that was doing the talking. He was the mouthpiece. A lot of scholars think this is how Tutmos II his reign was probably gone as well. Like, it was probably Hatshepsut going, no, you don't want to do that. That's stupid.
No.
You should probably make these decisions. And that's backed up pretty much by evidence that, like, some of the decisions and policy changes that Thutmose II did while he was pharaoh were very similar to things that Hatshepsut did when she was in power.
I see. Yeah. So clearly has an influence. Obviously, it's easy
Right.
generally to influence a toddler. No, put down the scissors. Stop jumping off the couch. No, it's not good for you.
Run with the scissors, you said?
And no, I said put down the scissors.
Keep jumping on the couch.
No, I said get
Invite
down.
other people
Just
to jump on the
one
couch.
more
No,
time?
no, guys.
Okay.
You know what's really fun? I'm gonna make you some mac and cheese.
Oh, juice
okay?
box, please.
Yeah. Okay. You want apple or cranberry?
Ooh, I want orange.
Can I have goldfish?
I will go get some goldfish from the river. One moment. Okay.
Yeah.
And the only other option for
I love
juice
their
have
crunch.
is currant.
Well then.
A meltdown it shall be.
We did for Annika's birthday go to this like apple picking orchard and then to a cidery afterwards.
Ooh, I love a good apple orchard cider. It's so fresh.
We literally had 2 different flights of 8 different ciders. That's how many ciders they make. It's called Scrumpies. Shout out Scrumpies. I think the brewing company is called Summit Brewing.
Oh, that sounds really
But
nice.
the bar that like serves all their stuff is called Scrumpies, and they have good food
That's
too.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love a good name.
Their logo is like a hedgehog.
Cool.
We've got some cans in the fridge. I'll show you.
Scrumpy, that's cute.
It's so cute. They knew what they were doing. Good advertising.
Shout out Scrumpies.
Yeah.
All right, so Thutmose III is in charge-ish. Hatshepsut is in the background, and for a few years this was how she was serving. But by the 7th year of Thutmose III, Hatshepsut's character is actually being put in front of his. Her like cartouche when they're carving it on the walls and stuff. She's now standing in front of him, which for some reason is a big fucking deal. And she started to be depicted as actually the one in charge with the title of pharaoh and everything. In a series of reliefs, there's a visual transformation. In the first one, Hatshepsut's clearly depicted as a woman. She's got breasts. She's in a traditional long dress. She's got the belly, the whole nine. The second one, she's got smaller breasts, an apron normally that would be worn by males, not a crotchless one. The third is more of the same, and by the fourth, her chest is flat, her abs above her apron definitely show male shaping. She even has the little beard that's traditionally seen.
She's got male authority.
Yes. From
Now, to clarify, the crotchless thing I have to say is not accurate.
Or is
you
it?
don't know that.
I guess I don't know that, but
Actually, all
Let it hang,
aprons
girl.
are crotchless.
Hey.
oh,
There's your.
if you turn them around,
Nope.
I mean, technically, no.
all dresses,
Skirts are crotchless as well.
Skirts, yeah.
skirts.
I mean, you don't have to wear anything underneath. I'm not telling you how to live your life.
All right. I stand corrected.
There you go.
All right. I know when I'm wrong.
From Wikipedia, pharaonic office in official representations. The cot headcloth topped with the uraeus, the traditional false beard, and the shendi kilt. This is the image.
Hey, girl.
And
I
thus,
think that's what we all picture when we think of like a pharaoh
Yep.
or a king of Egypt or any, burial site or whatever.
and thus the queen became the king.
Hell yeah.
Even queens can be kings.
Hell yeah.
Thutmose III, I'm pretty sure he didn't have much of a say in it. He was probably more relieved, like, okay, you're gonna stop asking me questions. I can be a kid now.
You mean
Yeah.
I can go back to being a kid?
I want
Okay,
that
Mom.
juice.
Just take over. I don't care.
Well, at this point, Hatshepsut's got enough confidence in her position and her power and authority. She just knew people were going to go with it.
She's been doing this for a little bit.
Yeah, she'd been doing it for 7 fucking years already. It was about goddamn time she got the title.
Yeah. I'm looking for that promotion.
Yes. And from that then on, she was depicted as a man, and she was in front of Thutmose III, like, for the rest of the art. What?
It's very funny. They were okay enough with her leading, but they had to depict her as a man. So they'd be like, no, we didn't no, there's no fucking chicks in charge. Look at the history. It's a man. See? She, they, them, they, it's a guy.
And now you're like, all right, that's fine, whatever.
Who gives a fuck?
Right.
Wear the fake beard, girls. Who cares?
Take me
Whatever.
seriously, fine. If I've got to be a dude, I'm going to be a dude.
But maybe don't, because it's kind of a goatee, and nobody likes goatees.
She started getting the way they carve the way they carve all of these stories and stuff in the walls. It actually shows them backdating it to when the third Tutmos started his rule. So by the time 7 years later she became pharaoh, she had it written as though she'd already been pharaoh for 7 years.
So she kind of
You backdate it.
yeah
She finessed the system.
Yeah, she did.
cooked those books a little.
Well, then
I've been here the whole time.
Yep, and then she's also depicted in some cases as being of divine birth, which makes it likely there were a few efforts out there in a couple different ways to legitimize her actually being pharaoh.
Yes.
Again, pointing to the fact that this was a weird situation. Weird.
Is
Random.
That's so random.
Sorry. No, I'm thinking of Tim Robinson in a hot dog costume. Random.
Random.
That
Whoever
face.
did this, we're gonna pull down his pants and spank his bare
Bald
butt
back and
balls.
You still need to see this
No,
clip.
you showed it to
We
me.
did, okay.
Yeah, you
Whoa, baby, 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 baby.
They're carving her name in front of her stepson's name. She's been pharaoh, obviously, for 7 years already.
did. Doing
She's-
this shit.
Yep, she's depicted in some cases of being divine birth. The Oracle of Amun even backed up the claim, stating it was the will of the god Amun, her divine husband.
Amun-Ra.
Yep. It was his will that she be the pharaoh. Quote, "Welcome, my sweet daughter, my favorite, the king of Upper and Lower Egypt, Ma'at-Kare Hatshepsut. Thou art the pharaoh, taking possession of the two lands."
Thou art the pharaoh indeed.
Yeah, so we're just gonna carve on this here thing that I'm royal. No, I'm divine. No, wait, hold. Yeah, my husband's a god, so we can do that. He says that I get to be pharaoh. You didn't hear him, did you?
As one
I heard him.
does when you are, in contact with
I know the guy in charge.
I had personal revelation.
Turn?
If we're gonna put it in Mormon terms, I've had divine revelation from my eternal heavenly husband,
I'm fucking the boss.
heavenly father.
Nice.
Sorry, Jesus. Jesus is my husband, and he says that he told me that I'm in charge.
Yeah.
He told me that I get to be king.
He told me this.
Yes,
He told you personally.
yes. You didn't hear him. I heard him,
No, I didn't hear it.
but I heard him. So that's what matters because he's my husband. You didn't probably have to hear him. You probably couldn't hear him because you're not his earthly wife, but I definitely could. So yeah, for sure. So she took the beard, she took the crown.
She took the beard. The beard is the crown.
The beard is the
Clearly.
crown. Yeah, she took the bearded crown. And she's doing the fucking job. She's finally got the title. She reopens trade routes that had been shut down for decades due to territory disputes.
What are we doing over there? No, it's fucking dumb. Quit doing that. We're opening that shit back up.
Yep.
We need
She
money.
She organized and funded a mission to go upriver to the land of Punt, which was south of Nubia.
Punt, you say, with a P.
Punt. Yes, like a kick.
Aha.
This resulted in her getting 31 live myrrh trees back when the mission returned, and they brought her frankincense, which she used with some other material to turn into eyeliner. She mixed it with resin. It was the very first known use of resin.
Cosmetics queen.
Lover.
Yep.
Instant queen.
Love
Instant
it.
icon because eyeliner is amazing.
And her eyeliner game was on point.
Love you, girl.
Yes.
More of a mascara gal myself, but
You know what?
Me too.
But you can use eyeliner on a brush. Mascara. Back then it was like coal
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You can use that to make.
it was very like pastel-y,
Yeah.
smoky.
Everybody was their own cosmetologist.
Yeah, you got to make your own shit if you want
Yeah.
to enjoy it.
Right.
She builds, which I fucking love that. I think that's great. Her rule's largely peaceful. There's a couple military campaigns that might have happened, but they would have been minor and not super noteworthy. She was a person who built bridges and let people work together. Also, you really got to do what you got to do for that eyeliner.
Yeah.
Like, her trade route was cut off. She's got to get that shit together again, okay?
Once you use it, you can't go back.
Listen, bitch. Yeah, look, quit fucking around. We're doing this.
I need it, okay? I need it. She builds temples. Karnak is continued. Karnak was a project that had kind of been going on. It's a big temple, so you build little pieces of buildings, or little buildings here and there in like this huge temple grounds. So there's a bunch of different elements of it. And it's continued from her late husband's rule. Temples dedicated to Amun to garner support for her position as wife of Amun are also built. She restores the precinct of Mut at Karnak, which had been damaged in battles past. She also had twin obelisks erected at the temple, which at the time were the tallest in the world.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. She later ordered 2 more, and when one of those broke while it was at the quarry, it was abandoned in the desert in favor of a third that got carved. There it fell, there it stayed, until a bunch of archaeologists came and fawned over it and called the unfinished obelisk.
Do we know what it's made out of?
I want to say,
Marble?
yeah.
Or quartz, possibly?
I don't think quartz.
That'd be amazing.
Well,
Damn.
there's a lot of quartz. Back to the conspiracy corner.
Conspiracy corner.
There's a lot of speculation that the Great Pyramids themselves, rather than being tombs, were antennas for electricity. Quartz is one of the few minerals that like generates heat and energy when you add friction to it. Like the scientists still really aren't sure why, but if you rub 2 pieces of quartz together, they glow on the inside. It's really interesting. And there's a lot of like electromagnetism that transfers through quartz, so they use them as essentially unplugged electricity for like lamps and things. Like they have light that was like powered forever.
They play with that idea both in the second Mummy, The Mummy Returns, and I think in the 4th and fucking terrible Indiana Jones.
So there are a lot of obelisks that are made of quartz, which is why I asked, because they're used as like antennas essentially.
No, these were like huge stones that were quarried out of the wall. It's funny because so they literally labeled it the unfinished obelisks. It was literally a fuck up, and these archaeologists are like,
yeah, they broke that shit. Like, well, now what are we gonna just leave it? Leave it. We don't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we're never gonna come back here. Leave it.
or they did, and they just like no, it's too
work
big.
around it.
Yeah, literally.
It's not broken. Nobody finished it.
We'll turn it into something eventually. Put it in the pile.
Okay, but literally like 90% of what archaeologists find is trash. Yeah. It's garbage from ancient times.
Exactly.
We study ancient garbage as a pattern.
It is very funny to me that people don't realize. It's like, what is this? They fucking threw it out.
When I went,
that's why it's in the middle of nowhere around nothing.
When I went to field school like at the bottom of Utah Lake, and we found this really cool adobe house structure that wasn't common in the area at the time. It seemed bigger than the other places. It might have been like a community area. Anyway, we found this like cool fucking tunnel that came out, and it came from the ground of the structure underneath, and it was like visually a tunnel. And then we took it all the way out to where it eventually ended. And there was just tons and tons of bones in there. And that was like where they had kept all of their, like they tossed all of their food and stuff into this tunnel. Yeah, that was their garbage chute.
Yeah, no, garbage is actually, like in Boston, they had a lot of, they found a lot of artifacts in outhouses. Mm-hmm. And it's just stuff people threw out, but it tells you a lot about
it's also stuff people dropped in when they were fucking with it while they were taking a shit.
Before shampoo bottles, what else did they take in there?
Knives, guns.
Oh God. Gonna read the serial number.
They didn't have serial numbers back then. It would have been like 1.
I'm gonna read my name over and over.
I dropped my carving knife down the poop chute.
Oh God. And they're from Boston?
Drop my carving knife.
Drop my carving knife down the fucking poop chute.
Perfect.
There it is.
Thank you.
We just need to make sure that he's the one that does all of the accents from now on.
Forever and ever.
I'm just doing my best, you guys. That's all.
And your best is wonderful.
Wow, thank you.
So Hatshepsut worked during this time with an architect named Eneni, who had also worked for her father. They built the Temple of Pakhet, which was a woman. It was a lioness goddess of war.
Fuck yeah.
Which translated to "she who scratches."
Sekhmet?
I'm on board.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I know that
Or
from Assassin's Creed.
Pakhet.
Oh, I know as Sekhmet, I think. From
They have
Assassin's
multiple
We'll
Creed.
get
names
there.
too, so
Well,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm about to explain that.
Oh.
So she who scratches, she was named for other goddesses, Bast and Sekhmet, which were other goddesses in the area, and they were also animal goddesses. You're right. So she, of course, oversaw all the planning and the construction of her own mortuary temple, but they called it Deir el Bahri, and she didn't start this in the middle of her life. She had already been planning it, like back when Tutmos II was still alive.
She's manifesting.
She's manifesting, man.
Long con.
Well, and it was a big deal building, even giving the size. Like, it was huge. It's still one of the biggest archaeological finds, like, in the fucking world. In temple planning and construction, there's a large focus built on where the inside of the temple lay certain rooms, like the design of it. And in the case of Hatshepsut's mortuary temple, she went all in on this thing called the Holy of Holies, the Jezeru, or the Inner Sanctum.
Ooh, what is this?
It is, so when you build a temple, there are different layers of different rooms, and you walk through, and mostly it's like ceremonial, so you usually do like covenant making or like you have certain rituals that you go through for each of these layers, but basically the holiest and the most sacred room of the entire temple is when you go right into the Inner Sanctum.
I see.
So it's the most protected. It's got the most rooms between it and any entrance or exit.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Smart.
They kind of we talked about this back with like women in Victorian times, where we had like those separate rooms just for women, like just those areas.
Yes.
That was also kind of one of the most protected things. So it kind of goes along those lines.
Excellent.
This is what it's designed from, is because of the way that these temples were built when they built those big estates.
Oh.
They designed it in order to be able to like have these certain rooms that you could only get through, get to, and those were like the most important, most, peaceful or whatever.
Right. Protected.
Yeah. All that shit.
Love it.
In a further bid to the end of her reign, knowing it was coming to an end and not wanting to be forgotten, she had this inscribed on her own mortuary temple walls. Quote, "Then His Majesty said to them, 'This daughter of mine, Knummetamun Hatshepsut, may she live. I have appointed as my successor upon my throne. She shall direct the people in every sphere of the palace. It is she indeed who shall lead you. Obey her words, unite yourselves at her command.' The royal nobles, the dignitaries, and the leaders of the people heard this proclamation of the promotion of his daughter, the king of Upper Lower Egypt, Ma'at-Kare. May she live eternally."
So she's like, all right, I'm getting promoted to God status, and my dad's retiring.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
All right. She took over as the new CEO.
She made her own dedication from her papa.
That's incredible. I wish I could do that sometimes. Like, hey, Hannah, great job.
I'm really proud of you.
He does
Love
say that to me,
Dad.
but it's like in person. He doesn't text it. So it's like every once
Let's
in a
dig a
while.
little deeper.
No, we don't need to do that. It was meant to be humorous.
So Hatshepsut's been working on this mortuary temple, but when she ascended to the position of pharaoh, she suddenly had a temple that was modest for her importance, right? So she decided she'd go get instead of
Daddy, it's not big enough. My castle needs to be bigger.
No, actually it was kind of the opposite. So like she's got this
Lola.
big ass mortuary temple that's being built, but she decides that she wants to go and be buried with dear old Papa. So she actually has his tomb like expanded. They go and do construction, and she goes
We're
like,
doing a little addition on the house.
yeah, a little addition on the house of the tomb.
on the grave site.
Yep.
Doing a
On the-
little addition.
Yep. She had them build an extension in the Valley of Kings, and we know that at some point she died. So obviously, what?
I'm pretty sure. Have we found her? I mean, do we know for sure?
I'll get there.
All right.
We know Hatshepsut died between the 21st and 22nd year of her reign. The most common, like the most regular kind of timeline that I keep seeing is 21 years and 9 months.
Okay.
She was king bitch for a long time.
She was queen bitch for
She was
king
in her
bitch for a long time, yeah.
40s.
What?
Was she in her like 40s, I guess?
I would have get probably somewhere close to
somewhere
that.
that, yeah.
She,
40s
she
to
beat out
50s.
her dad.
Yeah. Her body was mummified. That involves removing internal organs, preserving them in jars, and basically sealing the body and slowly turning it into jerky over thousands of years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her mummy was placed into a sarcophagus and taken to the tomb we now call KV-20 to rest with her father for all of time.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's all right. It's a little weird, but
I mean,
If only history were that simple.
her only husband was her brother.
dun dun dun. Where's the twist?
There it is.
Here we go.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Dear old dad's body was interred at a new tomb designed and constructed for him by one of the next pharaohs.
No, they separated her.
Hatshepsut's temples were ravaged and dismantled.
Of course.
Pharaohs stole pieces here and there from her temples to use for other things.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Upcycling?
Fuck that bitch. I'm
Yeah.
in charge now.
No, they're what is it?
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
I'll take what I want.
Absolutely.
We need bricks. Go get it from that bitch's fucking mausoleum.
So this tomb was eventually found by Napoleon Bonaparte's people, and it had been a known quantity. It wasn't like entered; it was just they knew that it existed.
Okay. They're like, that's cool.
I don't
We're
know.
gonna move on.
I'm gonna say I don't know if they got in because I think it was like at the end of 1700s. So we got a little thing anyway. It was an inaccessible place for a while, and multiple excavations proved fruitless until 1903 when Howard Carter finally got in. Now
Howie.
Yep, good old Howie. So Howie Carter was an Egyptologist known by every Egyptian history admirer. Like, if you were ever interested in Egyptology, that's a name. So in 1903, he had also undertaken a couple other excavations, and in one called KV-60, he found 2 female mummies. One of them was in a coffin, and they were placed with some mummified geese. Seeing it had already been ransacked, he ransacked it some more by removing the geese and closing it back up.
Great.
Yep.
He really needed the geese.
He did. He wanted a souvenir.
And
He wanted a souvenir like everyone else wanted a souvenir.
geese
So.
is what you go for.
Well, there was nothing else to
Were they
take other than the
gilded?
mummy.
I have a
The
feeling
mummy
they were
was too
gilded.
hard. The mummies were too hard to take out, and the mummified geese were small. They were, I could pick it up, I can walk out with it.
I have a feeling they had like gold or something in there.
So it took until the next year, but when he finally got into the tunnel of KV-20, it led down into the tomb. There he found 2 sarcophaguses, each with their lids open.
Sarcophagi.
Sarcophagi. That's not right. Sarcophagi. Yeah, sarcophagi. Okay. Each with their lids opened and emptied. One, though originally carved for Hatshepsut, her details had been carved over and named for Tutmos I, her papa. Whoa. Carter had found her canopic chest, which contained all of the organs, but not her body. What archaeologists think happened with the sarcophagi, is that the one that held Hatshepsut's... I'm sorry. I'm having such a hard time with this name.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's you and not me.
Hatshepsut's body was hastily carved. Sorry, the sarcophagus that held Hatshepsut's body had been hastily carved and expanded on the inside, perhaps to make room for Tutmos I during his reburial project, before giving up completely because it was too short for his coffin anyway.
Oh.
So they were both abandoned in there. Yep.
And all she did, opening up trade routes, increasing the wealth in the country. She did a lot of infrastructure and education, I believe.
I hope she was a ruthless ruler.
Carter also found funerary goods like furniture and trinkets, things that were obviously hers, things